What's happening, everybody? TK here, TK and Drinks, on another honest mead review coming at you today, number 102 on that road to 500, and we are doing another one of our Sugar Belt Mead Festival inspired reviews, trying to support those cats for whatever they're doing over there at the Sugar Belt Mead Festival. If you're in the area of Crown Point, Indiana, and be on May 21st, 2022. If you're able to make it, go scope it out. It's going to be 30 meaderies, slinging up some of the best meads you had in your life. So you're not going to want to miss that at all, I guarantee it. So in that regard, I've been doing some reviews for some of the meaderies that are going to be featured there at the Sugar Belt Mead Festival. This review is no exception to that, as I get into my Four Fires Meadery, Knuck If You Buckley. And Knuck If You Buckley is a raspberry mead with cocoa nibs added, toasted coconut added, and aged in a Buckley barrel for about 14 months, as I understand it. So this is going to be chocolatey, raspberry, bourbon, barley deliciousness, all wrapped up in a green bottle with a fantastic foiled label, because Four Fires does this really cool foily graphic with almost all their labels. I love the uniformity and everything that these cats do in their labels. Whoever their graphic designer is one of my favorites in the mead world. You're going to catch all that, and if you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, go ahead, give me a follow, a subscribe, a notify bell, any of those types of things here on the YouTube channel, any of the socials, because that does help me provide you with new content to stay up to date on, and it does help me, you know, with them algorithms and populating the videos and all that jazz. So thank you. I appreciate you for anybody who does that. Even if you don't, I still appreciate you because you're watching this, and, you know, thank you very much. Knuck If You Buckley. Let's get straight into that slow pour. Check that out. Boom. Slow pour. Love that. Just get straight away into this. Oh, my Lanta. That actually... Ooh, that's strong on the raspberry character, like raspberry jam. You get that astringency from the seeds, that like sharpness that you get when you have like raspberry jam. You get too many of them caught in your teeth, or like you let a bunch of them build up when you're a kid. And you like suck all the jam out of them. You get a little pile of seeds. And you kind of like down on that. You get that like burst of like that. Woo! You get that right in the nose. Nice, strong, dark, earthy, chocolatey aromatics in there as well. Strong on the cocoa nibs. Ooh, that barrel age in there is strong too. That kind of like whiskey-ish type of oak on the back end of that. Actually, the aromatics is a bit funky for me personally. I mean, I like it. I'm picking up all those characters, but the way that they blend together in this particular blend has a little bit of a, woo, that's unique to it. Which I was definitely not expecting. So let's get to our scorecard and the aromatics we're looking at, all those expressions. I'm going to give that one an 8 out of 10 because I like everything I'm smelling. I think it's all supposed to be there. It's all proper and everything, but it definitely has a bit of a uniqueness to it that I was not expecting to be in a raspberry dark chocolate flavored. And maybe it's from that oak expression. Maybe it's a little bit of that sourness that comes from the whiskey in there. But 8 out of 10 is definitely pleasant, so you're going to enjoy smelling it. Maybe I would have liked it a little bit more if I was a little bit of a whiskey junkie, which I'm not, unfortunately. And, you know, try to be a little bit less biased in a competition. But hey, it's my fucking show. I get to be as biased as I fucking want. No legs to speak of, at least after a good shaking. Nice, deep, dark, purplish, dark reddish hue to it. Same as like that Concord grape one we had last week. Like Merlot grapes, just that deep reddish, lean and purple hue. Again, not any really big legs to speak on or anything like that. No carbonation, no bubbles left after the pour. Visually, appearance wise, let's go ahead, definitely on the off brilliant clarity side. Let's give it a 5. As appearance is one that's kind of hard to fuck up unless you like got floaties and particulates and shit in there, in my book anyway. Flavor, the one we all been waiting for. Ooh, not a big fan of this one. Man, honey, definitely get some sweetness in there. You get the acidity. You get the berryness in there. You get that true raspberry character, as if you had like a raspberry gelato, or like a processed raspberry product, not necessarily true raspberries. I don't get that like I just ate raspberry character to it, but definitely a product that was made with real raspberries. So it nails that. But light on the alcohol notes, no warming at all, hardly. I get a small pinch of the cacao and the toasted coconut. Actually, I'm not really getting much of the toasted coconut at all. And the more I try it, that raspberry chocolate combo, not my personal favorite. I've had other raspberry chocolates in the past. I think it's balanced well. I mean, the sweetness to the acidity to the tannins. I think it's got a developed, well-developed complexity as far as that goes. But I guess I do get the kind of toasted coconut and the chocolate much more in the aftertaste now that I'm looking for it and I see it and feel it. Definitely heavy on the raspberry up front. Ooh, man, this one's hard for me because that raspberry taste comes a little bit like Flintstone vitamin-y to me at the front, but then like at the back end I like it a lot more because I get the chocolate and the coconut. So maybe it's not so as balanced as I personally thought it was at the beginning. Man, I guess if I'm this divided on it, I'm gonna give it an 18 on the flavor. Because I think all the elements are good. Maybe it just doesn't come across the way that, to me, the way that they wanted it presented. I'm not sure I'm picking it up that way. There's a funkiness to that raspberry character that I personally don't care for. I'm not sure. So yeah, sticking with that 18. Overall, let's give it a 7. Because, you know, so let's do some quick math. 8, 7 is 15. And 5 is 20, and 18 is 38. 3.8, 38 out of 50. I definitely would have scored a little bit higher if that raspberry character wasn't a little funky on my own personal palate. I guess I can't really knock it because it does taste like raspberry, and the cocoa's there, and the toasted coconut, all that stuff is there, but the way it comes across just isn't desirable for me. Like I said, in the aftertaste, it's much better, but right on the front of the palate and building up to that aftertaste, it just does this weird dance that's not my personal preference. I've had stuff that from Four Fires I think is much better. So we give this one a 3.8 or a 38 out of 50 on that BJCP scale. BJCP scale. So definitely seek out some stuff from Four Fires. If you're there at Sugar Belt Mead Festival, you see Chris or you see whoever's there, stop by, say hey, tell them TK and Drink says hi, and tell them if they bring the Knuck, if you're Buckley, that you want to give it a shot because TK said it was a bit odd and you want to prove him wrong, man. Try it for yourself. Oh, there we go. We'll get a little bit of the legs developing now that it's been sitting in there for a little while. So I guess it does have a little more legs than I thought it did, but all in all, again, it's a raspberry cacao mead that was aged in a Buckley whiskey barrel. I might have said bourbon earlier, but I'm pretty sure Buckley's a whiskey barrel. And all those notes and characters that you would expect to be there: raspberry, cacao, toasted coconut, whiskey barrel. Like I said, it just, to me, it doesn't, I don't feel that it blends, and the complexity isn't where I want it to be. So that's how we're doing it on TK and Drinks. I appreciate y'all showing up tonight and watching today, whatever time of day it is. And yeah, so follow, subscribe, notify bell if you can. And even if you can't, again, thank you for being here. And until the next video, review, interview, or whatever else we got coming at you.